Hello and welcome again to Dr. English. This is Dr. Mofi, a PhD in Applied Linguistics. And today's lesson is about directions. How do we ask about direction or ask somebody for a direction where we are going? So we are looking for somewhere like a post office, like a bank, right? Or a school that we are after. We want to go to a school, but we don't know the address of the school. So what happens and how do we ask about it, all right? These are the possible questions or structures we use for asking for directions or asking about the address of a place that we are looking for. We say, I'm looking for example, the school. I'm looking for the bank, right? Or where is the bank? This is the easiest way to ask about a direction. Of course, you can make it more complicated, like I don't know where the bank is. Or would you mind telling me where the bank is? So these are the other possible structures we use in order to ask about the directions. But these are the easiest structures we use, all right? So if I want to write questions or structures and idioms that we use in that regard, as for the directions, the list would go on, all right? So my whiteboard actually would not be enough for all of those expressions. So basically, these are the easiest ways we can ask about the directions so we can make ends meet, basically, one way or another. Or where can I find the school? Where can I find the bakery? Or confectionery? Or a confectionery? How do I get to the post office? How do I get to the school, for example? You go by the name, for example, then, all right? Then they would answer you in different ways, of course. Or if somebody asks you for a direction, then you would have to follow these structures again, right? But before we move on to the answers or responses to these questions about directions, let's move on, or let's go on actually with the other questions that we may hear or we may ask if you're looking for that particular address ourselves. Like, is there a parking lot, for example, near here? Is there a bank near here? Is there a bakery near here? Is there a gas station near here? So you could easily replace it or replace these dots that I put there if you're looking for that place. Is there a parking lot near here? All right? Or is it far? Is it far? Can we walk it? Can we go there on foot? Or we have to take a taxi, for example, right? Exactly. Now, the possible answers. These are the possible answers. Either you use these answers or they come in response to those questions that you ask, for example. Like they would go like this. These are the, very common expressions. Make a left, or turn left, or make a left. Make a right, turn right. At the first traffic light, or at the second stop sign, for example, right? Traffic light means either you reach an intersection or T-junction, where there is a traffic light, for example, or a stop sign, okay? Well, and then we also have a square, right? But getting back to our answers, let's see. The post office is across the bank. British people would go like opposite the bank, but Americans across the bank. Or next to the bank, adjacent, near the bank. Or it's in front of you, it's behind you, the address you're looking for. Or it's on your left, on your right, or on the left, on the right. These are also possible to be said. Or go down this street. Go down means go to the end of it. Or go along this street. Along means like in the middle, maybe. All right, not down at the end of it. So go down or go along the street and you get to a bridge, or you come to a bridge, or you come to a square. This is the way how we respond and we give address or directions. Or drive around the square. Drive around the square. Go straight ahead. Go straight ahead. Another expression again, right? And finally, you can't miss it. Well, this is an expression used at the end of giving directions. When you ask for directions and somebody responds, they normally go by or end it by you can't miss it. It means it's very easy to find it. You're not going to get lost. All right? So these are the possible answers we use. And just a quick note for intersection. Well, we have different roads or different streets. Inside the streets, actually, we have different ways In American English, we call them streets, avenues, boulevards, somehow in British English too, right? But intersection is usually replaced by crossroads. Maybe you have heard this in British English, crossroads. It's very famous, it's quite common, right? In text or in conversations. But usually Americans use intersections, all right? And T-junction, because it looks like a T, they call it T-junction, like a T-shirt. There are 3 ways, all right? But an intersection has 4 ways, 4 streets, okay? And of course, a square is round, right? We have other things like bridges, for example, right? Or other monuments in the cities or towns, or other ways, whether they are big and go out of the town or city to the other towns or states or even countries. We use highway, expressway, freeway. These are the American words usually. But British people use roads and motorways, all right? So there are many, many expressions you can find on the street or when you're driving or walking in the street, or even zebra crossing, as we can see, right? Zebra crossing. So there are many things that you can learn about the city environment and the stuff we use or face in the cities. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks again for watching. See you in the next video.